Hey everyone, Ali Kasira here, your real estate champion, here to provide some more information in regards to the contingencies. In our last video, we talked about the inspection contingency. Now in this video, we're gonna talk about appraisal contingency and what are the factors that go into that. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so we're here to talk about the appraisal contingency. We went over what an inspection contingency is and factors that come into play and the important things to focus on. Now that we've taken care of the home inspection, we have now removed that contingency. Now the next contingency that's going to come into play is the appraisal contingency. And I'm going to explain to you what that means. An appraisal is an unbiased opinion of the value of the property based on its location, condition, and current market trends. Now let me explain that to you a little bit. There's different things that come into play. The square footage, the condition of the property, and again, where it's located. These are all the things that are gonna come into play when it comes to determining the value of what the home is worth. And based on recent sales in the area. See, my job as your agent is prior to us ever submitting an offer, is what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look up properties that have recently sold. Typically, appraisers will go back 180 days to even 360 days for that fact, if for any reason they cannot find enough comparables in the area. See, for myself as your agent, it's very important for me to look up comparables prior to us submitting an offer, because what that's gonna do is allow us to know, hey, where we need to be aggressive and to be competitive with these other offers. For example, the property may be asking for $500,000, but current market trends are showing and recent comparables are showing that properties in that area are selling for $550,000. Now the agent and the seller strategically priced it low so that they can create a bidding war. My job as your agent, again, is to make sure that number one, you're not overpaying for the home, but also that we're taking a realistic approach to what the home is worth. And what I do as your agent, I'm not gonna go back 180 days, nor 360 days. I will if there's not enough comparables. But ideally, what I like to do is look back 90 days within the last 3 months, because that's gonna give us a big pulse and a better pulse on where the market trends are. And again, what we don't wanna do is not be competitive. We wanna make sure we're competitive with these other offers. Now, there are two things that are paid out of your pocket as a buyer. Only two charges, okay? The home inspection is one of the first things that is out of your pocket. And then secondly is the appraisal. At that point, there will be no other charges out of your pocket. An appraisal can cost several hundreds of dollars, anywhere from $400 to $650, okay? And the same thing with the home inspection, anywhere from $300 to $400. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, hey Ali, what happens if we offered $550,000 and the appraiser says it's worth $530,000? There's a couple different options that we have here. We gotta go back to the drawing board. We go back to the seller and say, hey, you know, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, we offered $550. The bank is saying it's only worth $530. What happens now? Number one, we either renegotiate on the price. Number two, we meet halfway. Number three, you as the buyer could potentially pay the difference between the appraised value and offer price, which is very, very common in this aggressive market we're in now. And something I would highly recommend for you to do if you have the flexibility to do so. However, last but not least, if for any reason the seller's not willing to come down on their price, you as the buyer is not willing to pay anything out of your pocket, nor are we able to meet halfway with the seller, last but not least, the thing that we do is just simply cancel the transaction and go our separate ways. And again, the most important thing out of all of this to remember is that EMD, that earnest money deposit, is still protected, guys. Again, that's my job, to protect your money as if it was my own. Now, let's remember all three contingency periods. We got inspection, appraisal, and loan. Now, let's assume we're good with the home inspection. We remove that. Appraisal comes in at value. We're at $550. Now we remove that one. Last but not least, we're gonna have the loan contingency. Now, I'll share the details of the loan contingency in my next video. Stay tuned, guys.